Hi everyone, I'm Shelly Dressel, and today I'm going to do a little mini channel with one of the universal light beings. I do these periodically. You can check out my website, crystallinetransformations.com or goddesslight.net, and we just sometimes have information to bring through. And so today is one of those days. I honestly think it may be Dragon that wants to come through and talk. Dragon is a Andromedan, and he came through a couple of times, maybe a month or two ago, and I've been feeling his energy. So let's see what he has to say. Greetings. Thank you for choosing to have a conversation with me today. I am the one known as Dragon. I have other names that I also go by. So some of you may feel my energy and think, no, that feels like so-and-so. So it could very well be true because I do go by multiple different names. I love the name Dragon because I am a dragon shapeshifter. I am also Andromedan, and I have walked upon the earth. I have been both dragon and human upon the earth, but I have not been here for many, many, many years. The reason being is that many of the Andromedans were waiting for their part in this ascension process. There were others that had more information, others that were doing it's as if every different part of the universe was working together to create the process that the entire universe has been going through. And now that the ascension is here, it is time for the dragons to come back in. It is time for more Andromedans to come back in. We have a tendency to be communicators. We have a tendency to be mediators. We have a tendency to be the ones that will bring various people together that need to be together in order to create a particular outcome. So out within the universe, the Andromedans are well known by everyone that is within the universe. Andromedans are very well known by those of you upon the earth plane. In fact, many of you come through the Andromedan strain. You have heard for years and years about the way that people would go and spend time on the Pleiades to become accustomed to the frequency of the earth plane, and then they came and they had their life experiences. So the Pleiades obviously are incredibly a part of this ascension process, but so too people will come from the omniverse most often, or other places that are far-reaching, and they'll come through the Andromedan chain and then come into the earth plane. This is not about better or worse or anything like that. This is about what is your mission, what is your frequency, and therefore where do you feel a stronger alignment. The DNA is now being activated since the eclipse that took place on April 8th. For many of you, I'm sorry, I can't help but I hear the people in the background saying, yet another false flag. I do want to say to you, if you believe that everything that is happening is a false flag, then that is your reality. However, if you believe that, yes, the eclipse was real, yes, the eclipse took place, yes, the purpose of it was to cut through the last of that third dimensional energy and therefore activate the strands inside all of humanity so that humanity could move to the next level, then that is your reality. One needs to have humor when dealing with multiple people and levels of consciousness as you do. So that is one of my messages for today. Remember to keep humor within your life, and don't get angry at other people that are just simply expressing where they are, and don't get angry or irritated with those people that are still stuck on the wheel going around and around and around. They are simply where they are. Instead, find humor. This is not laughing at them, laughing at a situation and understanding that you were on that wheel at one time, that you were in that circle going around and around and around, but you're now here where you are. Another message I have to you is to consider the dragons. We have been so very appreciative of the work that humanity has done. There have been many other creatures in addition to us that have also been working on the earth plane. And some of those are now ready to transition off. They've done their bit. They're moving on. And then you will begin to hear of other and new and different I hate the word creatures because people think that's negative or derogatory, but beings of light are now going to be coming into the earth plane because we can. It is no longer so harsh. It is no longer so hard for us to be able to tolerate this energy. And so we therefore seek to, in the best way possible, bring forth the newer vibration, the newer frequency, the newer intention, and in doing so, assist humanity as you are moving forward. As a dragon, everyone always loves to have those big dramatic pictures where we spew fire from our mouths and it incinerates everything around us. So I'm going to invite you to tap into the dragon energy, and when you want to consider it, that fire energy is going to incinerate old belief systems. It's going to incinerate what no longer works for you. Consider, even for those of you that are stuck in relationships that are now pulling you backwards, consider it as a way to sever those links or hooks or chains that connect you to people that are no longer helping you. And then once you are done with that, just as the dragon is transformative, so too, then spew out another breath of energy, but this time let it be filled with the energy of peace. Let it be filled with the energy of joy. Let it be filled with the energy of ascension, because that is what needs to become much more a part of the collective consciousness than what is happening right now. The earth, as you are going through this last period, people are leaning towards that which they are accustomed to, or that which is what they consider to be their truth or their reality. And in doing so, it makes them even more angry. It makes them even more afraid because their foundation has been shaken and it is removed from underneath them. And so many of them feel as if they're just dangling out there and they haven't found that which is going to support them as they move forward. You are very well aware. I am saying what you've already been told and what you've already learned for yourself, is that moving forward is your alignment with your soul. Moving forward is the alignment with your divinity, and drawing on those energies, allowing that to help you become stable and maintained in the life that you are. And then as you do that, you can much more easily be in that place of joy, laughter, peace, and abundance. So a couple of other messages that I wanted to give is, I'm hearing, because I'm connected to very many of you, and I am hearing from so many people right now about the, what's the word, World War III, as you call it, and that there are still individuals that are talking about what is going to happen with the, what's the word we want to use? Like with the CERN accelerator, with the particle accelerator called CERN. Is it going to be on? Is it going to be off? What's going to happen? So I did want to talk about that for just a few minutes here. There is a war that is going on, and it has been going on for many, many years. It is a war that is somewhat behind the scenes. It is a war of information. It is a war of disclosure. It is a war of choices. It is a war of the reality in which you live, but also it is a war about all the many, many, many different misinformation that is out there. But that can also, another way of looking at misinformation is, what timeline are they on? In every reality, there have always been multiple different timelines, and those timelines they're very fluid. And so they might flow back and forth. They might intertwine and you walk a pathway and then people go their separate ways. They're simply experiencing their own personal growth. And you can think of the choices that you make as the intersection of timelines with other individuals. So that's looking at it, in a personal level. Now let's look at it in a global and a universal level. Suddenly you have massive timelines in which all of those little times when you, through your relationships and your personal growth, have attributed towards one particular timeline or another. Now on this very massive global level, you have these huge timelines that are bumping into each other, pulling away, bumping back into each other. And what happened with the eclipse the other day is that kind of realigned everything on the planet. It's like it said, here's a new still point. And from this still point, we're going to move forward. And with that, you can look at those various things that show energy. You can already see that there's much greater energy here on the planet. And that's going to happen going forward. So with that reset, all of these multiple different times in time-space reality are now going to consolidate into one timeline. Now, we're not talking about one narrow little timeline. It is massive. It is huge. It is diverse. It is filled with many, many, many different belief systems. But the difference here is that most often, instead of just banging into each other and then causing ripples of energy, now people are going to learn how to bang into each other and then learn to coexist. And some of you this will be much easier for you. And some of you may bang into something and then, whoop, I'm going to go over here for a little bit, and then you'll never have that occurrence again. Others of you may bang and bang and bang. And then at the end of the day, when you have learned whatever it is that you need to learn, that will be complete for you and you will go in a different direction. So when you talk about CERN, what that is doing is it's been used to open portals. It's been used to time travel. It's been used to take information from one place to another. It's been used for many nefarious means. It was used for transporting people out into the universe and for nefarious purposes, meaning for slavery. And it's been used, they can open up a portal in any part of the planet that they so chose. But now, with this transition of it, it's not going to be used randomly. It's not going to be used for something nefarious. So if you continue to hear people going into fear because they hear about CERN, then be aware that, nope, that's not going to happen. It is no longer possible for those low negative beings to come into the planet. Number one, there aren't very many of them left. Number two, you have done your job. You have caused the vibration of the planet to rise. And then number three, third aspect of that is that it's also helping to release the residual of the negative beings that are here on the planet so that they may now then be released from the planet. There are still negative beings. There are still people that are doing horrible things. However, when we first started this process, or even just looking 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was a massive number that's now down to a very small, tiny number. And that will soon be eliminated. As you know, many of the people that are involved in nefarious deeds, they either don't want them, they want to be the leader. Oh, you go do this bidding for me. You go do this bidding for me. Well, if you take out all the people that can go and do the bidding for the leaders, then you're dispersing their energy. And then the leader says, okay, well, I'll just go do it myself. Well, then you catch the leader as they go and do their nefarious things. This has happened. There have been several recently that have been found and arrested, and a couple. There's one that was non-terrestrial, meaning non-human, and that one was transported to a place where it was sent out of the universe, out of your planet, out of the universe, into another universe in another vibration or frequency. So you are here at a new beginning. No longer think of this as the end of an era. Think of it only as a new beginning. Spew forth that energy and frequency. Send it into the collective consciousness. Send it into each one of you so that you may be in the highest light vibration for who you are. Send it into your relationships so that all relationships can shift and move into a better space. I'm so very excited that I will be spending more and more time with you, and through this individual and through others. So be open. Be open to receive transition. Be open to receive whatever messages you may receive. Remember, each one of you are much more clairvoyant than you've been before. You're much more telepathic. You're much more precognizant. So all of your senses are now shifted into a higher perspective, and you will therefore begin to get your own messages, your own things. The way to ask to understand, is this legit, is to just go inside, tap into whatever that energy is. Is this a high light frequency? And you'll get a yes or a no. If you get a nothing burger or a nothingness, then do it again. Ask it in a different way. And if you get a yes, but you don't really trust it, ask it in a different way. If you get multiple yeses, then you know that you are connected. You are all connected through your own soul and your own divinity. We are now opening the age of Aquarius, the age of love and light. Thank you for this opportunity. Aunt Saluia.